I was in my bed 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and my wife says to me, she said, there's somebody downstairs. I said, what? She said, I'm telling you right now, she said, there's somebody downstairs. So I listened, and sure enough, I could hear somebody downstairs. Now I don't know if you ever had that happen in your house at 3 or 4 in the morning, but it's not pleasant. So I jumped up, and I got a 3-iron, I never forget, I got a 3-iron, and I can hear noises coming from the kitchen. So you're faced with this prospect of a burglar or whatever it may be, and then through there in the house. So I think, what am I going to do here? I'm just going to have to react to whatever happens. So anyway, I actually kick open the kitchen door. What I'm faced with, I recognise the back of Paul Gascoigne in my fridge. Now this is 3:30 in the morning, he doesn't even turn round, right? I say, Paul, what are you doing? He still doesn't turn round and tells me, I'm making a sandwich. I said, you're what? He says, I'm making a sandwich. I said, it's 3:30 in the morning. He said, I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep and I'm hungry and I didn't have any food. I said, how did you manage to get in? He said, he says, I remember. He said, remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he said, you were on the phone, he said, to your missus, and you told her you left the spare key next to in a wee bag underneath the oak tree. He said, I remembered that and I just thought I'd come and use your key to go and make a sandwich. Honest to God. So I went back up the stairs and the missus said, what's going on? I said, you're alright. I said, it's only Paul making a sandwich. I remember, I just made a statement in the restroom. I said, I'm going to buy some fireworks. So he turned to me and winked and said, I'm your man for fireworks, he says. I went, aye, here we go. He said, what do you mean? He said, I can get you £100 box, he says, for a tenner. I said, that's lovely. I said, get me 2 boxes of that, let's be smashing. So he said, the only problem is, he said, I can't tell you where I'm getting them, he said, you need to meet Jimmy, the legendary Jimmy Five Bellies, up the back of the stadium, up the Celtic end, at 8:30 tomorrow morning. I went, okay, so this is some big deal, you know. So anyway, I turned up 8:30, Jimmy's waiting there, opens up his boot, 2 black bin bags, massive things, sticks them in the boot of the car, gives him his 20 quid, away we go. That night, I opens the box, I better have a look at these fireworks, I said, you know that radiation stamp right across the box?
Biohazard.
That's the one. And you know what it's, I'll never forget what it said underneath it. Spectators must be at least 50 metres from detonation. Like... And you've never seen fireworks like these in your life. The following weekend, my wife and I were coming back from a do in Glasgow about 1:30 in the morning, and she's on the phone to Gascoigne. He said, I tell you what I'll do, he said, when you get in the house, and remember he lives in the next village, he said, I've got a couple of those rockets left. He said, I'm going to let one off, and I'll point it in the direction of your village, and let me know if you see it. Right? This is at 1:30, 1:45, I swear to God, Max. 5 minutes going, I thought, I'm just going to go to sleep, and the next minute, boom, right, and the whole bedroom lights up, right, honest to God, and it's just Gascoigne had set off a rocket from the other village to see if we could see it. Needless to say, the story does not have a happy ending, because 15 minutes later, Gascoigne, courtesy of Glasgow's finest, was sitting in a police cell.
I was in London. Someone said Liam Gallagher's in the restaurant, posh as fucking. I went, alright, so I got out of the taxi and I went up and I went, hi Liam. First time I met him, he went, oh, you're right, guys, I sit down. And he had a big filled steak in front of him, and I had a couple of drinks and that. And he went, you want a steak? I went, no, I'm not hungry. He went, all right, I'm just 2 seconds, I'll go to the toilet. He went to the toilet, I fucking ate his steak. And he'd come back, and he went, where's my fucking steak? And I rubbed my stomach, and I went, cheers. And he went, fuck it. So I thought he's way to order another steak. And he'd come back with a fire extinguisher and just fucking mullet us all over. Wow, Jesus Christ, it just sprayed it all over us, man. Just all over the table, didn't give a fuck, I just put it down. And we just started eating again, having a few drinks. And a minute would come out the dressing room, and I'm walking down the tunnel, and I just see this guy with muscles, Jesus Christ, and the veins in his neck and his skinhead. Oh, that's got to be him. So I went over to him, and I just went, hi Vinny. And he went, mean you fat bastard. I just shit myself. I went, oh fuck me, 90 minutes of this. He followed us everywhere.
As the game went on, I felt a bit more like confident in that, and I went, I fucking didn't bother with this guy. And
I managed to put the ball through his legs once through.
He stopped backing up on us, so I sort of gave him a push, and that's when he squeezed me balls. I really squeezed him too hard, and I was like, honestly, I thought I'd lost my family allowance. I got in the dressing room, and some girls sent some roses, and I went, that's nice, I'll give him the thing. So I went in and I said, can you give that to Vinny Jones, please, from me? I went back to the dressing room, and then the guy come back, a young kid. He went, that's from Vinny. He sent his back toilet brush. Shit's go fuck off.
So we used to come into training every morning, call on tie, bang on 9 o'clock for training at 10. But one morning he's not there. It's 10 o'clock, 9:45, and we're looking about, where's Gascoigne, you know? Next minute the door gets kicked open and he comes in with a pair of waders on, right? With a collar and tie underneath. Holding up two of the biggest trout you've ever seen in your life, right? So the boys go away in the minibus and they're away training. He said to me, he says, right, come on, Coy, he says, we'll have a laugh for the fish. He says, right, who's been annoying you? I says, Gordon Jury's been really annoying me. He says, right, get into his pocket, get his car keys, went out of his car, right? So he comes out with the 2 fish, Gascoigne. So we open up the boot. No, this is unbelievable. So we unscrew the spare wheel and I throw the fish in and I go to throw the other fish in. And Gascoigne says, no, he says. I said, what do you mean? He says, watch. So he takes one of the fish out, screws the wheel back on. He finds a compartment in the back seat of this car that you wouldn't know existed and throws the other fish in there. And he looks at me and says, when he finds the first fish, he'll think that's it. Do you know what I mean?
So
it's a sensational criminal being of mind. That's what we're dealing with. Well, I need to tell you, for the next 3 or 4 days, Jury's come in, he's saying, the smell in my car, I can't get rid of it. He says, I'm even stopping at the traffic lights, he says, there's people walking by me. And then, of course, he finds the first fish, like Gascoigne said he would find the first fish. And he thinks that's it, but he says, for the life of me, I can't get rid of the smell.
I wasn't in the youth team, you know, I was always subbing that, and he would never play us. I mean, my diet wasn't great. I used to like buy a packet of mince, bottled Coke and fish and chips at night. Jack Sean became manager, and he pulled us aside, and he went, yeah, you're a good player. I says, yeah, I am. He says, how long you got in your contract? So I was cocky, and I went, 2 years. He went, you got 2 weeks, you fat bastard. And he says, right, you're getting picked up at 6 o'clock at night. And I went, what for? He says, you're going to be training with Brendan Foster, who's a runner, and he used to train the athletes. And within a month, I was captain of the youth team, captain of the reserves, and then we played in the youth cup final. I scored 2, won 4-0 against Watford away. And then he come to the dressing room and he pulled us aside. He says, right then, you come with me tomorrow. I said, what for? He says, you're going to be playing against Ipswich. I panicked. I says, no, I don't want to. I want to go back and celebrate with the lads. And so he says, okay, then I'll play you next game. I remember sitting on the bench with him. It was so funny. And he was sitting there, and Jack was brilliant of us. And he was sitting there, and he went, the fans started singing, Charlton out, Charlton out. And he looked at us, and he had a little cigarette in his hand. And he went, do you think I need this, Gaz? I went, not really. He went, see, that good luck with your career and fucked off. That was him. He gone, and I remember going to the dressing room half time, and the players went, where's Jack Charlton? And when he's left, they went, no, he hasn't. I went, he's went home, he's had enough, he's quitting. And then the next day, he was collecting his stuff from the office, and he opened the window, and he went, Gaz, come up. So I went upstairs, and he pulled 120 quid out of his pocket. I went, oh, that's good. And he gave us it, and he went, cheers. So I ran downstairs, I was so excited, 120 quid. And then he opened the window, he went, £10 each for all the players. And I went, oh shit, okay then. I kept it, I think.
When Sir Bobby was coming to the end and he was struggling, we arranged to do an England-Germany team. Because it was at St James's Park, they asked myself, Rob Lee, some of the Newcastle players to sort of be part of the England team. So you got Mateus playing and all his eyes, and it's like, so Chris Waddle's back. So everybody's got together, but Gazza's desperate to play, but he's not in great shape and everything else. So Peter Beasley says, I'm going to try and get him fit and everything else. So they're kind of babysitting him, trying to get him right. Gazza's in such a state, he's getting upset and everything else. On the Friday night, before the game, Gazza's ringing Sir Bobby up and talking. Sir Bobby passed away literally 3 days after. Gazza's on the phone at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't feel well, Gaffer, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you down, I just don't feel right and everything else. And Sir Bobby's like telling us the story at the game going, it's alright Paul, I'm not feeling too good myself. And then you got Gazza going, oh fucking forgot.
But one day he came in, it was a wee bit later, and he walked straight into the middle of the dressing room. So he dropped this bag on the floor and he shouted, right lads! And we all turned and looked at him and he went, and he smiled, right? And he had this new set of teeth. We were in tears. I'm telling you, the whole place is in tears. We're off on about, and 5 minutes later he says, Coisty, he says, what do you think? I said, what do you think? I said, you could chew an apple through a letterbox with them, man, they're unbelievable, right? So we're all falling about laughing. He says, right, out you get. He says, out the dressing room, we're going to get a table in the corner, we're going to have a glass of wine, and I'm going to play the part of the blonde sitting there myself. You've got to come in and chat me up with your new teeth. So all the boys are sitting at the dressing room, right? The door gets kicked open, right? And he saunters in, right? And he walks right up and he's swirling about this makeshift ashtray in my table, and I'm sitting like that. And he just went, hi, I'm Paul, right? And we're all just falling about laughing. And he said, he's lied it, killed it. He said, do you know something? He said, I've got to be honest. I knew I was struggling. I knew I was really struggling when I left the house this morning. And my dad shouted at me. He said, Paul. I says, what is it, Dad? He went, all the best. His dad said to him all the best before he went to train him his new teeth. Oh, it was magic.